What's going on, guys? Zuco back with another Dragonflight video. We're going to talk about Protection Paladin today. I've done the class tree for Paladin. We did a whole video on that. It'll probably, like, certain things are going to change on that tree. It's alpha. Stuff's going to change, but it's looking very good. Things like Avenging Wrath, like having to take the 2-minute cooldown on Avenging Wrath feels horrible. I'm hopeless is going to change that, but let's move over to Prot today. I want to talk about Prot Paladin, and I want to talk about what's really good, actually, about the new Prot Paladin in Dragonflight. I got a bit of a beef to talk about here. Max went and did a video with some of these sort of experts for people who have done, like, Race to World First and people who are really good at playing Paladin. So Scott, Noah, Dryny, Myth, you know, Dryny's like the healer for Liquid, Myth, Bulls, Narcoles. So he's got a lot of people in there. It was good. The vast majority of this was very, very good. But there was a couple of opinions by Scott in particular who I just, like, completely disagreed with. And it felt like a really, really bad take to me. And I just wanted to bring it up at the beginning of this video because I think it's important. It's really important stuff. So you can go watch the video for yourself. It's like 2 hours and 17 minutes long. I've seen the whole thing. So go watch it for yourself if you want to. But two of Scott's important takes were this. That basically he didn't like this node right here. So they're giving you a choice between Avenging Wrath and what's called Sentinel. Sentinel's a new Avenging Wrath, like, defensive cooldown, essentially. Gives you 30% max health, 30% less damage taken, and you can extend the duration of it by spending Holy Power. Very, very, very cool. And it's a defensive choice, and then the other choice would be Avenging Wrath Might, which gives you 20% crit, which is just the baseline of what Avenging Wrath is right now. So you're going to be just getting either the damage side of it with crit or the defensive side. And Scott basically, like, hated the idea of Sentinel. He's like, you only ever, I think basically I'm paraphrasing his quote, but he basically said, you only ever bring Prot Paladin, or, Prot Paladin to a raid for damage. And I think that, like, this first take of his, where it's like, Prot Paladin's only brought to raid for damage, was basically just in the context of the Race to World First. And I think, or, like, very, very cutting edge mythic guilds. And I think he probably understands that. But it's a really bad take in a video where we're talking about the Protection Paladin tree in general, because it really skews people's understanding of, like, what's good in this tree. It's so important to understand that when the experts get up here and start talking in front of everybody, it can create a community understanding of what a particular ability, like Sentinel, or a particular spec, like Prot Paladin, is. You're going to have people thinking now, and they probably already thought for a long time, that you should only really bring Prot Paladin for damage if you're doing a raid. And that will trickle down into the 99.9% of the player base where it doesn't matter if you're bringing a Prot Paladin or a Blood DK or a Brewmaster Monk or a Warrior. It doesn't matter because you'll be able to clear the content with any of those tanks. And the Prot Paladin will do good damage, but it also can spec into defensive cooldowns now, which is a very, very cool option. And it bothers me that he basically said that this is a bad talent. Sentinel is a bad talent, according to Scott, because it's a defensive cooldown. And you should always take Avenging Wrath Might because it gives you crit and gives you damage. And that's what you're there for as a Prot Paladin, is to do damage. Really bad take. It's just a bad take. I don't even care if that's all he thought because of the Race to World First, and, like, that's his understanding of how Prot Paladin should be used. I think it's still a bad take in that context, but it's a bad take in the general context of this entire tree, and trickling that information down into the community and having the community pick up on that and go, oh, maybe I can't bring Prot Paladin to my raid now. I got to pick a different tank because I need a tank that's, like, going to be tougher. And clearly, like, this isn't what you bring Prot Paladin for. Like, it's such a dumb idea, and it really bothers me. Number two, the other really bad thing that Scott was doing throughout most of the video was he was just, like, complaining the entire time about Avengers Shield. If you don't know, Avengers Shield has been changed. It no longer generates Holy Power, and it is not Blizzard's intention for it to generate Holy Power. It is not going to be generating Holy Power for the Prot Paladin anymore. And that's okay. But Scott basically was just, like, complaining, like, for several minutes in the video that, like, he really hated that idea. He thinks that it should be generating Holy Power. He thinks it makes Divine Toll, like, completely useless. Yada, yada, yada. And there's a bunch of buffs to Avengers Shield on the left side of the tree that we'll get to in a minute that basically buff the damage of Avengers Shield and give it a lot of utility, gives you some shields, stuff like that. Blizzard's changed their mindset on Avengers Shield, and I'm going to just talk about this for a quick second here. The reason that Avengers Shield is not generating holy power anymore is because there are other ways of generating holy power, several other ways. You have Blessed Hammer. You have 2 charges of Judgment. Judgment generates a holy power, so that's 2 plus 3, that's 5 holy power. Hammer of Wrath generates 1 holy power, that's 6. You can use Hammer of Wrath during wings whenever you want, or you can use it on a low health enemy. So that's 6 holy power being generated. You have Divine Purpose, which gives you a chance to have your next spender be free. So that's like 3 holy power every, I don't know, it's probably 3 or 4 times a minute this thing procs. Or you could go Holy Avenger and get triple the generation for 20 seconds, which is probably bad. But you do have Divine Purpose, okay? On top of that, you have Sanctified Wrath, which makes Avenging Wrath last longer, and then Judgment generates 1 additional holy power during that window. You have 2 charges of Judgment. So it's like instead of 1 and 2, it's 2 and 4. Plus 3 is 7. Plus this is 8. Plus the occasional, 9, 10, let's say, over the course of a minute. Probably it'd be much less than that. On top of that, we're not even done yet. Consecration now. Where is it? Consecration can generate, that's for red. Okay, that's fine. So that is all the ways you generate holy power as a Prot Paladin. Okay? As a Prot Paladin. Again, you also have Divine Toll, but it doesn't give you holy power anymore, and that's okay. So that is your means of generating holy power. You now have Blessed Hammer, you have 2 charges of Judgment, you have Hammer of Wrath, you have Divine Purpose, and you have Sanctified Wrath giving you stuff back as well. Okay? These are all really, really good ways to generate holy power, and you don't need Avengers Shield to do it for you anymore. And Blizzard is very clearly moving in a different direction with Avengers Shield, and that's okay. And basically what I just kept hearing from Scott was like whining and complaining about how it's different now, and he doesn't like the direction that they're taking Prot Paladin or Paladin in general. Paladin now basically is getting a lot of like passive throughput healing. Judgment of the Light, Golden Path. You can buff Golden Path. Word of Glory echoes to a nearby enemy, which is sort of just passive. There's a bunch of like really great consecration passive healing nodes that are going to buff the ability to heal yourself as a Prot Paladin. And Scott just complained a lot about like the Avengers Shield stuff, how Paladin should just be like a sniper healer, like you're just sniping people from low health. You'll still be able to do that. You still get Hand of the Protector. I just have a big issue when people who are supposed to be experts at this spec and this class get on like a public forum like Max's stream and say to the world that this is a very bad design, that he doesn't like Avengers Shield, that he thinks it should still generate holy power. That he thinks that having defensive cooldowns here is a bad design for the game because Prot Paladin is only brought to do damage in a raid. Like, it's just such a bad take, and it's a really bad idea to trickle down into the rest of the community, and I just want to make sure I say that. All right, I'm all done with my rant. I'm done ranting. Let's move on to the actual Protection Paladin tree and what's good about it, and let me try to debunk Scott's like ideas here about the holy power generation. I forgot to actually mention one ability, and I can't believe I forgot this because it's really, really important. One more ability here called Bastion of Light, which is a brand new ability. This is absolutely turbo insane. So, three holy power from Blessed Hammer, 2 from Judgment. By the way, Grand Crusade will be cooling down Judgment as well, and it comes back very, very quickly. I was just trying it on the dummies. So you have 5 holy powers, 6 with Hammer of Wrath. Judgment generates 2 when you have Avenging Wrath online. And then Divine Purpose is going to be giving you free procs. And then, as if that wasn't enough holy power generation, Bastion of Light gives you 9 holy power for free every 2 minutes. Your next 3 Shield of the Righteous or Word of Glory cost no holy power. And it's an on-demand cooldown. You can use it. Sledge Fist is about to smack you, or he's about to charge into a pillar. You can pop Bastion of Light. He hits you, you heal. He hits you, you heal. He slams into the pillar, you heal. With Word of Blood. They're all free. Three of them are free. Or you heal other people. Whatever you want to do with it. This thing's insane. Very, very, very good stuff. So, let's talk about Prot Paladin. What is it getting? Avenger Shield is losing its ability to generate holy power. That's okay. Prot Paladin is getting a lot of baseline healing from Golden Path. Okay. You can also spec into Seal of Mercy if you want and have Golden Path do more healing. I want you to look at what Golden Path says here, by the way. I didn't read this at first. Consecration heals you and up to 5 allies every second. That's 6 people getting healed. It's like Healing Rain. You get Healing Rain on a Paladin, on all Paladins. Ret can use this too. Very insane. Judgment of the Light is also insane. Very, very good throughput healing. You have 2 charges of Judgment. In Mythic Plus, you can throw Judgment at 2 different targets and have 2 25 stacks of the Judgment healing going, which is very, very cool. You get Sack, of course, here. There's other Consecration stuff here that does more damage. And then Mad Paragon is a really important note to talk about as well. Hammer of Wrath and Judgment deal more damage and extend Avenging Wrath by 0.5 seconds. Your Avenging Wrath for Prot, in my opinion, should always be Sanctified Wrath. It just makes it 25% longer. So now instead of it being 20 seconds, it's 25 seconds. Your Judgment now will extend it and Hammer of Wrath, which you can use during Wings. So if you pop Wings, right, and you press Hammer of Wrath plus Judgment twice, that's already 1.5 seconds that we've added to the duration of it. So now instead of it being 25 seconds, it's 26.5 seconds. Okay. Then you're going to get a Grand Crusade proc on your Judgment, and you're going to get another Judgment to throw out there. So now you're at 2 seconds. And then your Hammer of Wrath comes off cooldown because it's a low cooldown. It's only like a 6-second cooldown. 7.5. It's 6 for me on live with haste. So you get another one. So let's go 0.5 again. So now you've done 2.5. And then, again, you're using spenders. You're using your Shield of the Righteous. You're using Word of Glory. You're getting Avengers Shield to throw out there to do damage. You're getting Grand Crusade procs from, Blessed Hammer, and you're getting more Judgments back. The idea is you're going to be probably getting, like, for free, I'd say right out of the gates, you're already going to get 2.5 seconds, like, for free. And then on top of that, it's about whatever procs you can get. So instead of this being a 25-second cooldown, it's more like a 28-second cooldown. And very, very likely you can extend this to be a 30 to 32, maybe beyond, second cooldown, which is insane, especially when you think about something like Sentinel, which is a very, very good ability here. So let's dive right in. Again, Holy Power Generation, Blessed Hammer. Grand Crusade is here, and a BFA trait that not only do we get the chance increase to 20%, which is it's only 15% on live, you get a 20% chance to increase it, okay, and it gives you 94 strength. Judgment gets 2 charges, and Grand Crusade can affect Judgment now, which again just completes the loop of Holy Power Generation. Blessed Hammer procs a Grand Crusade. You throw a Judgment. You press Blessed Hammer. It procs Grand Crusade. You get another charge of Judgment. You throw it again. You've got 2 of them anyway. It's very, very good. It's very intuitive. It generates a ton of holy power in all forms of content. And you got Holy Shield here, which is really good. I also want to bring up, let's go Icy Veins. Let's go WoW. Let's go Prot Paladin, and let's go Talent. So this is really, really good to see. I want to show you guys this here. We get Holy Shield and Blessed Hammer and Redoubt. Redoubt? I don't know. This is very good. Shield of the Righteous increases your strength and stamina by 2% for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds, stacking 3 times. So very, very good. But we get all 3 of these now. You don't have to choose between Blessed Hammer and Holy Shield. It's insane, guys. That's very, very strong. On top of that, you're getting Crusader's Judgment here. Moment of Glory is not a thing anymore. It basically turned into Bastion of Light, which is very good. But First Avenger is now kind of baked into a down here. I guess they put Moment of Glory down here. They did move it down here. Avengers Shield does more damage, generates an Absorb Shield, but you also have Bulwark of Order. Avengers Shield also shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing 100% as much as the damage dealt. That is literally the First Avenger talent. Part of it anyway. Okay? So that's there as well. You have Unbreakable Spirit in the class tree, so you can get that for free, and Cavalier at the same time. Cavalier, Unbreakable Spirit, Blessing. You can get all 3 of these. Blessing of Spell Warding, Unbreakable Spirit, Cavalier, or Divine Steed with Cavalier. Insane stuff. You used to have to choose between Mobility and Unbreakable Spirit, which was like really, really frustrating. Divine Purpose and Holy Avenger, they share a node, so you got to pick those. And then Seraphim is down here if you really wanted it instead of Sanctified Wrath, but I just don't think it's worth the actual throughput of Sanctified Wrath in any way. On top of that, Hand of the Protector is here for Prot Paladin. Consecrated Ground is here for Prot Paladin. Judgment of the Light is here. It's up here. Okay? Sanctified Wrath, Righteous Protector, Final Stand you can get all of these. Final Stand, Righteous Protector, and Sanctify Wrath is right here. The power level is going through the roof. And I need to always say this in these videos. The fact that you can get multiple talents on the same row is absolutely cracked. It's crazy strong, particularly for tanks, I think, because their talents tend to be very impactful. And this is absolutely nuts. Getting all the Paladin talents, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can get like 17 of these if you want to. That's insane, guys. In Legion, we got a legendary that let us get 1 additional talent on one of these rows, and we thought that was crazy broken. This is so much more broken. It's really, really good. So I just want to make sure I always make that point because it's important to understand that the power level of Paladin is just going up in general, like a lot. Okay? What's this? What is happening? There's no way that's true. I'm confused. Where's this coming from? I'll look at this later. Okay. Let's get back to it. Readout is here. Shining Light is here. This is a buffed Shining Light. It used to say every 5 Shield of the Righteous just makes your next Word of Glory free. Now it's every 3. Okay? Consecration lasts longer, does 15% more damage. You can do 10% more damage over here, so 25% more Consecration damage. On top of that, you can get Consecration exploding for damage. On top of that, Consecration can heal 5 allies and yourself. On top of that, you can actually spec into Seal of Mercy, and it causes Golden Path to actually hurt an enemy and help another ally. Absolutely insane Consecration build going on here. This is insane. Light of the Titans. Word of Glory heals for an additional 500% over 15 seconds. The tooltip is incorrect. I'm guessing it'll be something like 100% over 15 seconds. That's my guess. Which is still absolutely busted when you think about Hand of the Protector. If you heal somebody with Word of Glory and they're low on health, it'll basically top them to full, and then it'll give them a hot based on how much you healed them over 15 seconds. So if you took somebody from 5,000 health to 60,000 health, that's a 55,000 heal, and then they're going to get another 55,000 heal over 15 seconds, if the numbers are the way I think it is. That's completely insane. And it's also good for yourself, for self-sustain, because you're constantly healing yourself. You're going to have Light of the Titans on yourself all the time, and Golden Path healing all the time. This is this insane Bastion of Light. I feel like this is like almost mandatory because it's so insane. There's Hand of the Protector. Bulwark of Order, Avengers Shield, shields you for 100% as much as the damage it deals. That's the talent we talked about in Icy Veins. Resolute Defender is here. This is really cool. Each holy power you spend reduces the cooldown of Ardent Defender and Divine Shield by 2 seconds. Very strong. The live version of this extends the duration of Ardent Defender and cools it down, which I actually liked a lot. But the fact that this gets Divine Shield down is kind of insane. Like, if you can spend 3 holy power every, I don't know, 3 seconds, let's say you spend 9 holy power every 10 seconds. That's like 6 seconds off of this every 10 seconds times 10. That's probably too much, but that's 60 seconds every minute. 6 seconds off the, no, 6 times. I don't know what the math is. I'm doing math again. The point is, I think you could have a very good Final Stand build with Divine Shield and have this as like your way of cooling it down, and you could make a meaningful dent into the cooldown. Maybe instead of it being a 5-minute cooldown, it ends up being like a 3-minute cooldown, and that would be very, very meaningful for many forms of content. Okay? Ardent Defender is up here. I forgot to click it. Here's the choice node in the middle. Avenging Wrath Might is literally just Avenging Wrath as it is right now on live, so that feels kind of bad. You're just getting the 20% crit here. That's all you're getting from this node because the other Avenging Wrath gives you the damage, okay, and healing. But now you could also take Sentinel. And again, it says gain 15 stacks of Divine Resolve, increasing your maximum health by 2% and damage taken by 2%. So 30% max health, 30% DR. After 5 seconds, you will begin to lose 1 stack per second, but each 3 holy power spent will delay the loss of your next stack by 1 second. So very, very cool. Basically, like, you pop this, and in, like, a lust window, if you can generate a crazy amount of holy power generation and be able to spend it, then you can delay the decay of Sentinel. Also, I don't know how it works with Bastion of Light, because this says it consumes, these cost no holy power, and this requires you to spend holy power. I don't know, though, if the coding is going to be like, hey, he just cast Word of Glory. The only way for him to cast Word of Glory would be to spend 3 holy power. Even though he did it for free, we're going to count it towards the Sentinel thing. If this works with Bastion of Light, it's completely insane, because then you can, like, stop the decay for, like, a long time. 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds before it starts decaying. That would seem pretty nuts to me. I love that, though. Very good. While in your consecration, Shield of the Righteous and Word of Glory have 20% increased damage and healing. This is completely insane. Completely crazy. I don't know if the numbers are right. 20% seems like way too much, because combine this with Hand of the Protector in a raid. Somebody goes low, you're standing in your consecration, and you wog them. It's going to do 20% more healing to them because you're standing in your consecration. It doesn't matter who you hit with your Word of Glory. As long as you're standing in your consecration, you can heal somebody else, and they'll basically, like, it'll full heal them. So very, very strong. Strength of Conviction. Uther's Guard is over here. Again, you could reduce the cooldown of Divine Shield, again, by 20%, and also reduce the cooldown of Divine Shield with Resolute Defender, and then take Final Stand. There's some, like, Divine Shield shenanigan build thing going on here. Maybe it's good in Mythic Plus when you kind of need that. Maybe if you need, like, literally a 2-minute Divine Shield, then you could combine these two things together, and you could accomplish that. Kind of cool. Relentless Inquisitor is here. This was good. Was this just like a legendary effect? I can't remember anymore. Somebody let me know. I think this is a legendary effect. But anyway, it's actually just good. Haste is so good for all forms of Paladin, Prot in particular. 6 haste for 12 seconds, stacking up to 20 times. That's kind of insane. So that's 120 haste. That's a lot of haste, as long as you can keep the buff rolling. So very, very good. When you use Avengers Shield, your block chance is increased by 20% for 5 seconds. That seems completely broken to me. When you combine it with, like, Holy Shield, where you already get 15% more block, now you have 35% more block. Hello? Like, that's wild. That's really, really wild. Casting Word of Glory grants you block as well, which is good. I mean, these are good quality of life things that they're bringing to Prot Paladin that I think are... We don't know what the block chance is. Maybe it's 10% for 10 seconds. While in your consecration, your damage taken is reduced by an additional 5%. So I don't know... What does it say here? Okay, it has this as a passive. It has this as a passive for Prot, but I don't know how that works. This does not say rank 2 on it. This says Sanctuary. So they could be, guys, that... Like, on the live version right now, if you push Consecration, then you get 5% DR for being in Consecration, baseline. Your Mastery increases the damage reduction of Consecration, okay? What I don't know is that if they're giving you 5% baseline here, and then you take an additional 5% here, you would have 10%. And if that's true, that's very, very strong. So Sanctuary, I think, looks quite strong to me. Then, of course, we've got Divine Toll and Divine Resonance, or improved Seraphim and Divine Toll. So you could take Seraphim over here, right? Make it a 40-second cooldown instead of a 45. Excuse me. Or you could take the Divine Resonance one and get additional Avengers Shields popping off. I got the hiccups right now. Not a good time. So, Divine Toll right now, it is not as good of an ability as it is on live for a couple different reasons. Number one, Avengers Shield does not generate holy power, so you're not getting a bunch of holy power in AoE. Number two, we do not have the Ringing Clarity Kyrian conduit for this, which gave it a very high chance to strike multiple extra times. And on single target, this Divine Toll only throws 1 Avengers Shield right now. So you press a 1-minute cooldown, and it throws 1 Avengers Shield, which would be very, very bad. Now, in an AoE situation, this is still very, very good. If you combine it with a lot of the stuff down here that buffs Avengers Shield. Let me just redeem some points here. Look at this. Tears Enforcer. Your Avenger Shield is imbued with Holy Fire, causing it to deal attack power damage. It looks like 14% because there's 2 points to put in here and nothing changes. 7% times 2 points. 14% attack power damage to all nearby enemies. So if you press Divine Toll, it sends out 5 shields, and then in a radius around each of those shields, you're getting uncapped AoE damage. Very strong. So I don't mind Divine Toll just being an AoE button and doing basically nothing in single target. I think that's actually fine. So that's there at the bottom of the tree there. If we go down the middle, we have Guardian of Ancient Kings, which is a major cooldown you're going to want to get. We have Faith's Armor, which is very bad, objectively speaking. This is going to change. This feels just like a placeholder to me. Like Shield of the Righteous giving you 2% more armor. It's quite bad. So I imagine this is going to change, guys. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Final Stand is here, combining it with Uther's Guard, as we talked about earlier, and potentially Resolute Defender, getting the cooldown on Divine Shield so you can just continuously pop it as a major defensive cooldown. In Mythic Plus, it's quite good. Righteous Protector is here, giving you a 1 second off of your Avenging Wrath and Guardian of Ancient Kings. I'm assuming it's 1 second. Obviously, the tooltip says it says 0.5, but look, it says 0.5 seconds here, and then it should go to 1 second. So each holy power spent reduces the remaining cooldown on Guardian of Ancient Kings and Avenging Wrath by 1 second. Very good. And then we've got Gift of the Golden Valkyr. Each enemy hit with Avengers Shield reduces the remaining cooldown on Guardian of Ancient Kings as well, which is kind of bananas if you're doing an Avengers Shield build. And then on top of that, finally, we've got Eye of Tyr, which is the Legion artifact weapon ability. It's very freaking strong, especially in Mythic Plus. It does a decent amount of damage to all nearby enemies, so it's uncapped, and then reduces all damage that they deal to you by 25% for 9 seconds. Completely busted, guys. This thing is so good. I almost can't really imagine a world where you don't take this, even in Raid. It seems way too strong. So, let's go to the right-hand side, of course. This Gift of the Golden Valkyrie actually looks really cool. It looks like you might reduce the remaining cooldown on Guardian of Ancient Kings again by probably 1 second, not 1,000 seconds. I'm assuming that's a placeholder. This final left side here, again, this is all about Avengers Shield, and these are done very, very well, in my opinion. So, Avengers Shield deals more damage to the primary target. Avengers Shield does more damage to everybody. You can choose whatever you're doing. If I'm doing Mythic Plus, I want Tears Enforcer. If I'm doing Raid, I want Farron's, okay? Then we go down, and once again, it's got an AoE choice and a single target choice. Avengers Shield deals 200% increased damage, but only strikes 1 target. Very good on Raid bosses, okay? Or Soaring Shield, it jumps to 2 additional targets. Baseline, it hits 2 targets, so it's going to hit 4 targets now. And it's going to do extra damage, uncapped, AoE damage, yada, we talked about that. Crusader's Resolve, enemies hit by Avengers Shield deal 5% less damage to you for 10 seconds. Stacks 3 times. What? So this could make Avengers Shield give you 15% DR on 4 targets. If you hit Divine Toll, it hits 5 targets. And now you have 15% less damage taken for 10 seconds. That's a long time, guys. So there's on top of that, there's damage. There's a shield you're getting. It shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing, just like we have on live. This is really, really strong Avengers Shield stuff that has defensive properties if you want it. The only thing it doesn't have is holy power generation. Again, I think it's very strong in this current state, and I don't think it needs to have holy power generation. Finally, we've got Moment of Glory, which I'm not sure if this is good or not. It feels kind of bad to me. For the next 15 seconds, Avengers Shield damage is increased by 20%. It generates another Absorb Shield for an additional 50% of the damage dealt, and its cooldown is reduced by 50%. So, very cool. The cooldown is 15 seconds, so it goes down to, let's say, a 7-second cooldown, maybe a 6-second cooldown with haste. Okay. On top of that, you're also proccing it with Grand Crusade. Don't forget that. You're getting procs on Avengers Shield. On top of that, you could pop this and then pop Divine Toll, and all the Divine Toll Avengers Shields are going to do 20% more damage and generate a bigger Absorb Shield for you, and then another Absorb Shield with Bulwark of Order. You'd be literally invincible. Okay. The only issue that I have with this is that it's for 15 seconds, so you're really relying on your Grand Crusade procs because of how long of a cooldown Avengers Shield is. So that's actually okay. I'm not bothered by that. I'm just saying, this cooldown might actually be kind of perfectly balanced. It's not too insane, but it actually would be really, really good if you're investing heavily into the Avengers Shield archetype. Or you can pick Bulwark of Forgotten of Righteous Fury, which was the legendary that every Prot Paladin took in Mythic Plus. It increases damage of your next Shield of the Righteous, stacking up to 5 times. Okay? That's the tree. Let me go over a couple things. Number 1, your ability to generate holy power is fine. It's so fine, it's not even funny. You have three here, plus 2. If you have Sanctify Wrath, it's generating double, so it's plus 4. So you have like 5, maybe 7. You're going to get procs on Grand Crusade, which give you back Judgment and Avengers Shield. But it gives you back Judgment, more importantly, to give you Holy Power. Okay. On top of that, you have Hammer of Wrath to be used in Execute or during Wings. On top of that, you have Divine Purpose, which is going to give you procs all the time. And then finally, you have Bastion of Light, which is going to give you 9 Holy Power every 2 minutes. And you can use it whenever you want. You could use it on pull to do a bunch of damage with Shield of the Righteous, combined with Bulwark of Righteous Fury. Hello combination. Okay, right? You throw in Avengers Shield, and then you pop Bastion of Light, and you press Shield of the Righteous. Then you press Divine Toll, which sends out Avenging Shields, and you press Shield of the Righteous again. Then you get a proc from Grand Crusade on Avengers Shield. You throw Avengers Shield again, and you pop Shield of the Righteous again, and you've just done giga loads of damage to everything. Okay? Holy Power generation is not going to be a problem with Avengers Shield not generating Holy Power anymore. I promise you, it will not be a problem. What else is happening for Prot Paladin? Well, they're getting a ton of Consecration synergy. Damage here, healing from Golden Path, 5 allies, extra healing from Seal of Mercy. They're getting more healing throughput with WOG also giving you a hot over 15 seconds, and it's based on the WOG itself, meaning if you WOG somebody at 0 health with Hand of the Protector and it full heals them for 80k, you're going to get an 80k heal over 15 seconds. Again, I don't know about the math on that. Don't quote me on that. On top of that, there's Judgment of the Light healing as well. There's this Word of Glory giving like a mini beacon heal to another person with After Image. Very, 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 very strong self-sustained healing coming up for Prot Paladin, giving them just a lot of like general HPS, like healing per second is going to be quite high. And then instead of us spamming Shield of the Righteous, it doesn't sound like that's what we're going to be able to do based on what they've talked about for Shield of the Righteous recently. Instead of us just spamming Shield of the Righteous and Avengers Shields when they proc, we're instead going to have to think critically about using our cooldowns. And is that a good thing? Yeah, it is, because we have 1 million cooldowns. Ardent Defender is here. You can cool it down with Resolute Defender. You have Ardent Defender. You have Sentinel with Wings. You have Guardian of Ancient Kings. That's number 3. You have Final Stand. That's number 4. You have Eye of Tyr. That's number 5. You have Divine Toll combined with Bulwark and... what was the shield? This one? Yeah, this one here. Moment of Glory. That's 6. 6 big cooldowns that are going to keep you alive. Okay? I'm probably missing something. There's probably another one somewhere. Maybe not. So you have this passive healing coming through from Consecration all the time. Passive healing from WOG coming through all the time. Judgment of the Light healing you as well. On top of that, you have major cooldowns that are going to keep you steady when the big hits start coming in. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Divine Toll in an AoE situation. Oh, and then there's Bastion of Light, which I totally forgot about. 7. There's 7. Another big thing's coming in. You press 1 Shield of the Righteous, and then you heal yourself twice with Word of Glory. Like, there's no end to the possibilities here. This is an incredibly strong tree. There's also synergy for Divine Shield with Final Stand, Uther's Guard plus Resolute Defender plus Final Stand. I don't know what cooldown you could get Divine Shield down to, but probably pretty low. Guys, this tree is absolutely crazy. It's really, really good. This is probably the only problem right here is Faith's Armor. The rest of it is really, really good. You can extend Wings with Mad Paragon. There are so many good things going on in this tree, and I just wanted to make sure I sort of vented my frustrations at the beginning with some of the guys who have come on this tree. I'm not just like a Blizzard simp. I promise you, I've done videos where on other trees that I've said are completely terrible, like the Survival Hunter tree, which they've now basically fixed. But I did a whole video on Survival Hunter saying, like, this is garbage, this is garbage, this is garbage, this is how you can change it, this is what they should do with Survival Hunter, etc. This tree is good. It's very good, and the problem of Avengers Shield not generating holy power anymore is not a problem. I promise you it's not going to be a problem. You're going to be perfectly fine, and you're going to be absolutely dumpstering everybody and full healing everybody all day with Prot Paladin. It's going to be a really good time. Let me know. What do you think in the comments down below? What do you think about Prot Paladin? Do you think I'm crazy for the Avengers Shield thing? Are you angry about the Avengers Shield change? Or do you understand now that you're going to be able to generate more than enough holy power? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys. Once again, if you like this video, drop a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, guys. I'm trying to push for 2K subscribers. We're almost there. So I'd really, really appreciate you guys helping me out with that. And again, hit that sub button. It's just such a big deal. It really helps me out with the algorithm. So if you want to support the future of what I'm doing here, there's another link to my Patreon down below as well. And it has a couple different tiers you can pick from. It's really, really cool. Go check it out down there. Thank you guys once again for being here. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.